Well, hey guys, it is Monday night. It is 7 o'clock. That means it's time for SF Live, guys. Welcome in. Hope everybody has had a really good weekend. And I know it's been a couple weeks since we have done an SF Live. It's, last week was Labor Day. And the week before that, I was actually in Houston for a music video shoot. So it made it a little difficult to do it. I guess we could have done it on the road. I had my laptop and everything, but I just thought it would be easier. It was a long day. It was a long week. It's been a long 2 weeks. I hope everything has been great for you. So I know it's Monday Night Football, and I was just telling my wife that I think probably what we're going to have to do is we're probably going to have to move SF Live to Tuesday nights because I'm a huge football fan, and I do DraftKings. I'm on several fantasy leagues, and it's like I have to be downstairs in front of the TV, and like tonight it's a doubleheader, and it's like the Jets and the Lions are playing right now, and it's like I don't want to take anybody away from that. So if you love football as much as I do, I don't want to take up your time. So I didn't have enough time really to reschedule it for tonight, but I'm thinking that I might move it to Tuesday nights, and I'm actually even thinking about going to 2 nights a week, maybe like Tuesday and Thursday. But let me tell you the best way, and I kind of got into it with YouTube this week. They have a thing called the community tab, and it's in beta. What they told me is that it is in beta testing for some channels right now. And I would love it on my channel because it's the community tab within YouTube is a great way to be able to communicate in real time with your subscribers to, hey, we are going to be live tonight. We're going to have this special guest. We're going to be talking about these topics. You can post questions ahead of time, all this really good stuff on this thing called the community tab right there on your YouTube page. Well, they're beta testing it right now, and they tell me that they hope to roll it out to more and more and more channels. I don't understand, why it even needs to be beta tested. Almost every other social media platform gives you the ability to be able to connect and talk with your subscribers or your followers and things like that. So anyway, I'm hoping that they get it that way. I can let you guys know way beforehand without posting a video or something like that, and even come to find out, videos are getting delivered to less and less of your subscribers. It's all this algorithm stuff. It's the same thing with Facebook. It's the same thing with Instagram, same thing with Twitter. Like on Instagram and Facebook, they only deliver whatever it is that you're posting to about 10 to 20% of the people that follow you or like your content. If you want it to be seen by more of your audience, more of your followers, then they, of course, want you to pay to boost those posts. It's frustrating. It's actually really, really, really frustrating. But what else can you do? I mean, there's nothing you can do. It is extremely frustrating though. But I would love to get that community tab up on the YouTube page because many of you have noticed that I have not posted like an actual produced video. It's probably been a couple of weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks, maybe. I have just been extremely busy. I've been extremely slammed. I've been traveling all over the place. I've got a new duo from Mississippi that I am developing, and we're going to be launching their new EP and basically launching them as artists over the next several weeks. And then, of course, I'm working with Morgan Ashley, the Texas artist down in Texas. And I'm also working with Boso. Yeah, I've got the sweatshirt on tonight because it's actually a little chilly. In Nashville, it was actually chilly today. We can really feel the fall coming on. as it were. And it was nice, but it was a little chilly here in the studio today, so I put on the sweatshirt, and it's the most comfortable. I've never worn it before. Eric sent it to me, and I was like, okay, because I loved it. I saw a picture of it. I loved it. I said, you got to send me one of those. So he did. I put it on, and I got to say, it just like every other shirt and everything else, it's the most comfortable piece of clothing that I own. If you like it, you too can order it. All you got to do is go to officialboso.com, and you can order your very own sweatshirt. Eric, great job on these, man. Absolutely love it. Love Born Southern. You should follow them all across social media at officialboso on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Great lifestyle clothing brand. I'm working with them on some things, bringing in some brand ambassadors and changing up some stuff and really helping them launch their brand excuse me, worldwide, and we're having a lot of fun with it. But speaking of going back to the community tab, what I was going to tell you, if you're not following me on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, because we don't have the community tab, and if you are a subscriber here to the channel, be sure to follow me across all other social media, because it's really frustrating to not be able to be able to release information and get that out to you guys. So I really want to be able to do that. So follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm on Instagram the most. I'm trying to do the Twitter thing, and I'm weeding out a lot of who I was following, because I am so sick and tired of the political stuff that I can't even see straight. I'm at the point where I'm so inundated with it that I just really don't care. I'm getting to the point where I am, I'm kind of doing this. I'm encouraging other people to do this too. That, there a lot of what goes on doesn't really affect us in our everyday life. I'm really trying to scale things back to just the things that affect me and that affect my family, because if you let too much in, it's depressing, and it's too much. I don't care what other people's political views are. I respect everybody. I don't care what color you are, what race you are, what ethnicity you are, or what your religious beliefs are, or your sexual orientation. I don't care about any of that. Does it affect me on a day-to-day basis? If it doesn't, then more power to you, and I don't care. That's where I'm getting, because I've done this, a couple times throughout my life where I've weeded people out. This last year, I weeded several people out of my life that weren't adding to my life. They weren't taking anything away from it, but they weren't adding to it. And you know what? I'm 41 years old, and I'm not a young guy anymore. I'm not old, but I'm not the young guy anymore. And I don't have time, and I don't have patience to deal with people that don't add value to what I'm doing and don't add value to my life. And I'm encouraging other people to do the exact same thing. And I tell artists and songwriters when I'm working with them all the time, is that is okay to do. If you're surrounded by people that are not adding value to what it is that you're trying to do, or adding value to your life, or they make you feel good about yourself, or whatever it might be, then I encourage you to take a hard look at that. Take a look at who's around you, who's surrounding you, and if they aren't positive and they aren't adding something to your life, then to me, there is absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever with really eliminating some of those people from your consciousness, from your life. I know that it's helped me. It's helped me be more productive. I know that it doesn't sound right, and it's probably not what most people would recommend that you do. But I will say it's worked for me. And honest to goodness, I've not missed some of the people that I thought I would miss that I've cut out of my life. So just a little side note there, going off on it. Guys, the chat is open. If you would like to ask a question, if you want to know anything, we can talk about songwriting, we can talk about production, we can talk about your career as an artist, we can talk social media, we can talk gaming, we can talk football, we can talk anything you guys want to talk. I don't know how long we're going to go tonight. That'll be all dependent on you, but if you'd like to engage in the conversation, all you have to do is type your question right there in the chat. It pops right up in front of me, and I can see it. Any topic that you want to talk about, any topic that you'd like me to talk about, I'm more than happy to do so. I know I get a lot of emails every week from a lot of you guys, and I try to respond to those emails. That's another reason why I'm thinking about taking SF Live to 2 nights a week, because I know sometimes people are a little hesitant to type things out in the chat. They don't necessarily want their question associated with their name, or for whatever reason. I do want to make it accessible, though, for you to get the answers that you want. And this seems to be a really good way to do that. So if you've got a question you'd like answered, all you have to do is type it in there. Also, if you're in here and you're watching, let me know who you are and where you're watching from tonight. James Buchanan says hello. James, buddy, how you doing? Good to have you here. James, I think, is the first person on every week, and that's awesome. We're going to have to start having prizes and giveaways and stuff like that for people who become loyal followers for the live stream. I like to be as laid back in these things as possible. So, no, I swear it's a Diet Dr. Pepper. You can see it right there. I don't drink. I get that question a lot too. What do you? I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. I probably drink enough diet soda to kill a small horse, but I'm trying to do better with this. I've been on the performance inspired products for about 8 months now. Performance Inspired is a health and wellness company that Mark Wahlberg, the actor Mark Wahlberg, started with a friend of his named Tom Dowd. Tom was like the vice president of GNC for years and years and years and years. They teamed up. Mark's all about health. And with the movies that he does, he has to gain weight sometimes and lose that weight. But more importantly, he likes to stay in shape all the time. Well, he was out there trying all these different products, and he couldn't find anything that was healthy, that was really organic. You read that stuff and it says organic and it's all natural and it's all that. And it's like, but is it really? I mean, come on, is it really? Then you've got all these diets. You got these people flipping out over keto. I heard another one from my cousin, some of this bulletproof stuff. And I don't know. I had, after I turned 40, I'm trying to make an effort to be better and live a healthier lifestyle. I know I got to quit smoking. I know that's the big one. But I met Tom Dowd and through Instagram, oddly enough, and we started talking, and they sent me some of the stuff, and it's like I have energy now. Everything's healthy, and it's just really, really awesome stuff. So I'm trying to incorporate that into being a little bit more healthy. So I'm not drinking as many sodas anymore. I'm drinking a lot more water, and I do the PI shakes every morning. And it just helps me. I get up really early, and I end up staying up really late, so I don't get a lot of sleep. I know I don't get as much sleep as I should, but it helps me with energy, and everything's all natural. So that's really important for me. I'm not one of these guys that's going to go down to GNC and buy all this shit that's on the shelves. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm not going to work out. I don't have time for it. I don't have patience for it. I just want to try to live my lifestyle in, as best as I can and try to be healthy. Chandler Jones from Union Grove. Chandler, what's happening, buddy? You doing good down there in Alabama? We will be back in Union Grove for the Ferguson Farms hit songwriter series. We'll be back down there October 27th. And sometime between now and then, I'll be announcing the lineup on who's going to be coming with me and what we're going to be doing. We're working on something really cool, but that's going to be a lot of fun. Chandler, it's good to hear from you. Who else is in here? I know other people are watching. If you let us know who you are, where you're calling, or where you're watching from. At some point, I'm going to try this phone number thing, because I had my buddy Jacob Young on a few weeks back from The Bold and the Beautiful. I just produced his new EP, and I'm really excited. Matter of fact, it came out today, folks. It came out today. Let me see if I can find this, because I want to show this to you guys. Really excited about it. It's an awesome sounding EP. And I think you guys would really like it. It came out today. You can find it everywhere. Music is sold or streamed, Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere. Let me see if I can find it here. And I had him on, and through doing that and him coming to town and doing the songwriter series a couple weeks ago, I'm getting him started. He's now starting his live show on October 1st, which is going to be really, really cool. It's going to be called Daytime After Dark. He's going to talk about, all the stuff. He's been on Children, All My Children, General Hospital, Bold and the Beautiful. He's now doing more films and less of the daytime stuff, but he's going to have this really cool YouTube exclusive show starting October the 1st. We're going to have Jacob back on this show to talk more about it before the 1st of October. So you definitely want to I'll let you know when that's going to happen. But you can check that out for sure. October 1st is when he's going to launch, and we will, like I said, we're going to have him on beforehand. And let me see if can I pull this? Yeah, I think I can pull this up actually. Yeah, there it is. There's the cover. That's the new Jacob Young EP. I had the pleasure of producing this EP for Jacob. I also wrote Better Than a Love Song, and also Fool for You. You know what? Can we do this? I think we can. I think we can even play a little bit of it. Can we?
That I knew it from the start. I got carried away, girl, and I crossed my heart. So girl, come over here and I will turn that radio off. Sometimes we say a bit. We say nothing better than a love song. Stroking and jacking down.
Yep. Better Than a Love Song. It's the new EP from Jacob Young, it's self-titled Jacob Young. Loved writing Better Than a Love Song with Jacob and John Milstead. And Jacob and I also wrote Fool for You. Actually, a little bit of this one too. I loved producing this track. Absolutely. I wanted it nice, wide, and open, and we nailed it.
I know I'm not the smartest man, but girl, I do the best I can, 'cause I'm a fool for you.
Jacob sang his ass off, too.
I'll never be a millionaire. Life looks good from this easy chair, just being a fool for you.
But there it is. It's a new EP from Jacob Young. It is available everywhere you buy or stream your music. You can get it today, and I encourage you to do so. It's really, really good. I mean, yes, I produced it, and I wrote 2 songs on it, but I'm not just saying it is really, really good. So I encourage you to go check it out. Like I said, I know I know it's Monday Night Football. It was a big day at my house yesterday. Like I said, I absolutely love football, and I'm deep into fantasy football. I do the DraftKings thing, and I'm doing okay this week for it being week 1. I'm doing okay. I could be doing worse. Let's put it that way. So I'm doing pretty good. So I don't want to take anybody away from Monday Night Football. It's a doubleheader tonight. And so, like I said, I don't know how long we're going to go tonight. And I'm also thinking about moving this to now that we're in football season. I make it sound like I'm thinking all about you guys, but I'm really thinking about myself. I hate missing any football whatsoever. You know, I should be downstairs right now with the Sloppy Joes and the Doritos and the Diet Dr. Pepper, following my fantasy football a little bit closer. But nevertheless, here we are. We are here, and we're going to make the best of it. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Anybody have any links they want to share? We can do some reviews if we want to. But like I said, you can also tweet me if you've got a question. You can tweet me at @TheSteveFreeman on Twitter. Let me check it and see. Oh, yeah, I actually do have some. But I should probably... It's funny, you get sometimes people are like, please don't read this out loud. But yeah, you can tweet questions if you like, or you can just put them right there in the chat, and I'll answer them. I did get a question about a couple different topics from this past week. One's football related. I get a lot of people ask me what I think about the Nike and the Colin Kaepernick thing. Like I said before, I generally try to stay as far. Look, I write songs and I produce records for a living. I don't understand why anybody would care what I think about it. I know that I get frustrated when I see other people sometimes chime in, and I know everybody's got their opinion. Look, and because of social media, unfortunately, everybody can share those opinions 24/7. Somebody did tweet me, though, and asked me what I thought about it. Let me tell you this. I've got a closet full of Air Jordan shoes in there, and a ton of other Nike shoes and gear and stuff like that. I'm not going to be burning any of it. I've got way too much money invested in it to burn it, number one. Number two, I'm not that guy. You know what? The whole kneeling thing, I think could have been settled up front if they just didn't air the national anthem. And I know that frustrates some people, but if you want to take the controversy out of it, just don't show it. And then nobody's talking about who knelt and who didn't kneel. My honest assessment of the Colin Kaepernick thing now is a lot different than it was a year and a half, 2 years ago when it first started. I mean, now it's like I just feel like this is the guy's 15 minutes. I mean, it's like, you know, the last year he played, he was not a great player. He got yanked out of the game, and he got replaced. And look, I'm not saying that he doesn't believe what he believes, but I also know that he's also not being recognized for what he does on the field. So if you're a football player and you aren't on the field, how else do you keep your name in circulation? And to me, this is how he's doing that. I'm not saying he doesn't believe in the cause. I'm not saying any of that. It's not my place to say. But I do know that he's not on the football field. And he still needs a way to keep himself relevant. I told some people that were at my house over the weekend, the Nike thing may be even a little bit more simple than we're giving credit. And that is, you have to realize, even though Colin Kaepernick is not playing football right now, he is still a signed endorsee to Nike. So Nike's still paying him all this money, even though he's not playing football. So maybe it was a situation where we're putting this campaign together. It is a good mess. The message is great about sacrifice, no matter what the cost. It's a great message, and it fits in with what Nike has done for 40 years. I mean, that is their thing. You've got Colin Kaepernick. You're paying him millions and millions and millions of dollars. he can't reciprocate that in any way by wearing Nike clothing on the field or anywhere else where people are going to see it other than social media. So you throw the guy in there with the campaign. I mean, he wasn't the only athlete that was featured in this commercial or in this campaign. So I look at it that way too. I'm looking at Nike, somebody sitting around that table probably going, you know, we're giving Colin Kaepernick millions of dollars and he's not even on a football team. He's not even playing right now. How do we get our money's worth? And believe me, they're getting their money's worth. Something I saw read the other day said that their online sales went up something like 31% when that went out and people started, you know, having their reaction to it and the outrage to it, that their online sales went up 31%. Along with that is a bunch of people burning their Nike stuff too. Look, I'm not going to be one of them. And there's a lot of people, I don't care what anybody else thinks about it. I don't care about the justification for it. Again, like I said at the beginning when we first started, does Colin Kaepernick, and whether or not he kneels or doesn't kneel, which doesn't matter now because he's not in the league, does any of that even affect my day-to-day life? Absolutely not. So I don't give a shit one way or the other. I just don't care. Maybe I should, but when I get on social media and I see I have literally between this last 2 weeks, between the Supreme Court trying to doing the hearings for the nomination of the Supreme Court judge Kavanaugh, between that, the Colin Kaepernick thing, and Donald Trump, I see more people ruin their friendships and relationships on social media. And that to me is a sad thing. There are still more things out there that unite us than divide us. And to me, it's just sad to see people get into that. Look, I have people that I'm friends with on social media that I don't agree with them politically. I don't agree with them morally. I don't agree with them on a lot of different things, but that doesn't mean we can't be friends. And it also means that we can't not be respectful of one another. Just because I don't agree with your point of view doesn't mean that I don't respect it, and I don't respect your right to have it. But it's amazing to me. Is it amazing to you? It's hard for me to even get on Facebook anymore. I hate Facebook. I've said it a million times, but I do. I absolutely hate it because inevitably I get on and the first thing that pops up in my feed, I swear to God, is somebody saying something political, and most of the time it's about Donald Trump. And the same thing with Twitter. I mean, I'm down to following hardly anybody on Twitter because I just get frustrated with the situation, and I get frustrated with all of the tweets, and I get frustrated, honestly, with the amount of people who think that other people care what they think. I don't know anybody that cares what I think. I mean, maybe you do. You're listening. You're watching. Maybe you care. Or maybe you're just like me, and maybe you're like me, and you're at that point where unless it impacts your day-to-day life, then I just kind of sit back and laugh at everybody else. Maybe that's the best way to do it. Another sad piece of news this week is we lost Mac Miller, rapper, hip-hop artist Mac Miller. Now, I will be honest. I'm not one of these people, and I didn't post anything about it on social media. Because, quite honestly, I was not familiar with the guy. I'd heard the name, but I wasn't as familiar with the guy. And when things like this happen, it's sad. It's a tragedy. I mean, the guy overdosed. I was telling somebody yesterday, I'll never understand what it is about celebrities that it's almost like they can't wait to get famous enough where they can afford to literally fuck their life up. I'll never understand it. I don't get it. But it seems that way to me, and it's a shame, especially when you have ultra creative people, singers, songwriters, artists, that ruin their lives and ultimately end their lives early because of poor choices. I always hate to hear about that. I hate to hear artists going in that sort of manner, and it's just, man, it's happening a lot lately. It really is. It's happening a lot, and it's just sad. But I wasn't that familiar with his music. I've gone back since and listened, and it's not my bag. It's not my thing. I bet I get asked 25 times a week to produce R&B records or hip hop. Well, not I've produced R&B records, and I love that. But hip hop, more hip hop stuff and rap oriented stuff, I get asked to do it all the time, and I turn every single one of them down. And the reason that I do that is because I don't know that world. I don't know that like rock and pop and country or R&B or soul. Those I can do and produce amazing records in those formats. But I don't know anything about rap to go into the studio and do it well. I don't know enough about how to produce a great hip-hop record to do it. I've talked with some other hip-hop producers about possibly doing some projects in connection, and maybe that'll lead me into doing more of it. But it's not my forte. It's not the first thing. It's not, I don't listen to it really that much. Country is going as hard in that direction as they possibly can. And so you kind of stay up with it from that perspective and that point of view. But, I didn't know much about the guy. Watching other people that I do respect talk about him and about his life and about his creativity and his music makes me respect him more than firsthand knowledge. I saw where Post Malone, which I love Post Malone, and I love what he does. I think he is a true creative. I think he's a true artist. I was watching what he said they were even going to start working on an album together. So, it makes you wonder why somebody that was going to be doing that with one of the hottest artists on the planet right now, what goes on in your head that's so negative that you take drugs and get to a point where you end up ending your life early and cutting your life short. Not to mention what it does, to his family and the families of all the people that are affected by it. But it just seems like it's becoming a thing lately, and it's just sad. It's really sad. Chandler wants to know, what's your opinion on new country music? Well, I have to say that I like some of it. Here's kind of my barometer. And I said something, and I actually tweeted him. He tweeted me back. There is a new song out called Drunk Me. And you know what? I might see if I can find it here. There's a new song out called Drunk Me by an artist named Mitchell Tenpenny. And let me see. Let me play a little bit of this if I can. Oh, you know what? I can't, or they. Nope, you got to stop. Yeah, I forgot. I can't do that, or YouTube will copyright strike me for playing it. The other two songs that I played, I produced them and I wrote them. They'll probably still going to copyright strike me on it, but then I'll have to get the people involved and all that. Anyway, I can't play that. But go check out a song called "Drunk Me" by Mitchell Tenpenny. I tweeted him when I heard it the other day, and I said, "Man, this is really good stuff. It is a really good incorporation of Chandler. If you're talking about new country from a production element that has a little bit more of the pop and hip hop elements, but also has a great message. And I always go there first. I'm not so concerned with the packaging that the song comes in or that the music comes in. If it's got a great message and it was very well thought out, that's why I can't get into the Florida Georgia line stuff, in all honesty, is because to me it's not well thought out. I could write that in 10 minutes just the same way that they did. That doesn't impress me. That's not smart to me. It's not intellectual. It's just getting out a rhyming dictionary and, you know, seeing how many words you can get to rhyme with tailgate and fireball. That to me is not creative, so I don't appreciate it, number one, and I'm not going to waste my time listening to it. But something like Mitchell Tenpenny and Drunk Me, that is a great example of something that's very modern sound. I would classify it as new country for sure, but the guy's got a voice that won't stop. He's got not only can he sing, is he a good singer, but he's also got a very distinctive voice. So when you hear him, you know it's Mitchell Tenpenny. And he's having a lot of success with this song, Drunk Me. And I tweeted him to tell him how proud I was of him because I thought it was great. And it really is. So if you're talking about something like that, then absolutely. I like a lot of the new stuff. What I don't like, well, let me say it like this. I've said this before. Like Sam Hunt, okay? I typically, I don't classify that as country, but if we're going to call it new country, then let's call it that. It's not country to me. But for the sake of argument, let's just say Sam Hunt is new country. That is who that guy is, okay? I like what he does because it is authentic to who he is as an artist. I buy it because it's who he is. And when I say I buy it, I don't mean like on iTunes. I'm not physically buying it. I buy into who he is as an artist. He sells it very well. What I don't like and where I kind of draw the line there is when you have artists that's not who they are, but try to do that style of music because it's popular. That I don't like. Like, for instance, and I have friends that are in his band, and I'm going to hear about this, but Luke Bryan. Luke Bryan's a hella nice guy, but I don't understand why he's trying to do what Florida Georgia Line is doing. That's not who he is. That is not the kind of music that has made him popular. He's just doing that to fit in the mold, to get inside the box that the Florida Georgia Lines and the Kane Browns and all the other ones, Sam Hunt, all the other guys, and there's about 9 or 10 of those guys that you can't tell the difference between. Cole Swindell and all of those guys, you can't tell the difference. You can't tell them apart. That's where I kind of draw the line. So when you ask me, am I a fan of new country music? I'm more of a fan of the artists than I am the format. Let me say that. The artists that are true to who they are, I'm all for it. Midland is another really good example. Midland is different than anything else out there. Brothers Osborne are different. I don't really care for everything that they do. It starts to sound repetitive to me. But their music is at least creative, and I think it is who they are. I like Dan and Shay. Why do I like Dan and Shay? Because I like Rascal Flatts. And they're a carbon copy of each other. I don't know that that's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever, but, 28 million people thought it was, Rascal Flatts singing Tequila before they realized it was Dan and Shay. That could be a flattering thing. It could not be, but I love their music. They pick great songs. And they sing well. They sing great. The production is great. There's so much more for me that is not on just the surface of the music. To me, it's about the production. It's about the artist actually having talent. It's about the message in the music. So for me, I listen for all those things, and that's when I take that's kind of where I base my opinion off of. There is not a lot out there with the new style that I like, just simply because I don't see a lot of authenticity there. I see a lot of already popular artists trying to make a kind of music that they're not known for just to stay up with the times. And, That's their prerogative. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's that's what I think is going on. But long answer to a short question. Anybody else have any more questions? All you have to do is pop them in the chat right there, or you can tweet them to me at the Steve Freeman. Let me see if I've got anything else coming in. Otherwise, how's y'all's week going so far? Well, I know it's only Monday, but you know. Oh, you like that picture. I'm also I've been working on some videos that I'm going to upload to the channel. When I'm going to have those done, I'm not quite sure. But James says, what did you think about Steven Tyler's country record? I got to be honest with you, I liked it. I didn't think that the songs were as strong as they could have been. But I'm a Steven Tyler fan. I got to be honest with you. I like anything the guy does. And the fact that he just will not stop. He's going to make music one way or the other. And I appreciate that. So I actually liked the record. Now, Steve Perry's record, on the other hand, we talked about that a few weeks ago. Horrible new single. Didn't really care for that at all. But Steven Tyler, I'll listen to anything the guy does. I really will. I mean, he sold me years and years and years ago. So, I mean, you can't, it's hard to take and think of Steven Tyler separate from Aerosmith. So, to me, it was like, just a country version of Aerosmith. A little bit more torn down. There were, I would have loved to had my hands on that production. Let me just say that. But I liked it. But, I always thought, if you go back to the 90s and you listen to some of that Aerosmith stuff back then, listen to What It Takes. That's a country song. I don't care who you are. What Little Texas could have put out What It Takes, and it would have been a big hit. So I think there are several songs, that Aerosmith has done in the past that could have been country songs. With a little bit more rock edge to them, of course, because it's Aerosmith, but nevertheless, could have been. But anyway, so yeah, I like the Steven Tyler record. But, furthering my point of what I was saying is, here's a good example. The reason George Strait is because George Strait never released a record that wasn't a George Strait record. You never heard George Strait rapping. You never heard a loop in a George Strait, and you won't. I wouldn't imagine. You're not going to hear an 808 across a George Strait record, because he knows who he is. He's not chasing anything. He lets people chase him, and he knows who his fan base is, and he makes music for his fan base. That's why he's never released a non-George Strait record. I get a lot of the younger artists, feel like they have got to do that, and they do. We've talked about this in the past. The average age of those that are buying music now are 12 to 17 years old, and they don't know what country music is. I mean, their idea of country music is, Carrie Underwood, Florida Georgia Line, Sam Hunt. That's what they think country music is. Cole Swindell. What's the other guy I can't stand? Michael Ray. They think that's country music. So that is as deep as their history goes with country music. So, there you have it. Just my opinion. But I do like some of the new stuff that's coming out. I'm anxious to see. There's supposed to be some records coming out in the near future. So, speaking of, there's one out there that I produced that a friend of mine, Gil Grand, came to me and asked me to produce this because he wanted to take a show out on the road. And he wanted to do a Conway Twitty tribute show. Not an impersonation thing, none of that. But, you know, Conway Twitty, I can't remember when we were doing all that. It's either 58 or 59 #1 records. And millions and millions and millions of records sold. Well, Gil's favorite songs, favorite artist was always Conway Twitty, so he wanted to go out and tour on this Conway Twitty tribute show. And he came to me and he said, what do you think I should do? And I said, well, the first thing we need to do is we need to go in the studio and we need to cut an EP. And we need to make it, you know, modern, but not modern. We need, you know, I called in all the normal players that I use on every record that I produce, young guys, and I produced this record. You can get it. It's on iTunes. It's on Apple Music. It's everywhere. Let me see if I can find it. I'll show you a picture of it. Because I can't remember what the album cover is. I think it's One Night. I think it's called One Night with Conway. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. Here, I'll pull that up and you can see that right. That's the album cover right there. It's called One Night with Conway featuring Gil Grant. Now, he's taking the show, and he's booking the crap out of the show all over and throughout Canada, and even here in the United States, and people are just eating it up. If you are a traditional country music fan, I encourage you, especially if you're a Conway Twitty fan, go check this record out. One Night with Conway featuring Gil Grant. I had the pleasure of producing this record, and I got to be honest with you, out of so many records that I've produced over 20, 25 years, this is right up there at the top of one of the projects that I am most proud of in my entire career. We nailed these Conway Twitty songs, and everything was tracked. There, we didn't use any like karaoke tracks. This was, I produced it just like I produce any other record. We built it from the ground up, and the guys just played amazingly on it with Tim Dembo on bass, Grady Saxman on drums, Tim Galloway on guitar, and of course David Dorn on keys. And we just tackled these things, one song, one right after the other, and then Gil came over to my studio. We did the vocals, and it's like I said, it's just one of the things I am really, it's probably in my top, it's definitely in my top 10 of things that I'm most proud of that I've ever done in my career, because it just sounds amazing. You love those songs, and Gil sings his butt off, man. There are times that if you're not careful, you would think it was Conway Twitty singing. It's almost kind of eerie. It's kind of weird. And he's not trying to impersonate Conway at all, because I was very adamant about that while we were in the studio, and so was he, that we're not doing an impersonation thing or a, that kind of thing. It's just a tribute. And as he started singing these things, he's just got such a great voice, and he has such good tone that at times you'll forget that it's Gil Grant and that it's not Conway Twitty. But go check it out. I would love for you to. I absolutely am so proud of this record. And it's out now. You can find it everywhere. It's on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify. It's everywhere you buy and stream your music. But check it out. One Night with Conway featuring Gil Grant. If you don't know Gil, this will be a great introduction to him for you, and then you can go find out all the other things that he's done that have just been, amazing. And if you get a chance, you got to go see the show. I wonder if I can find anything on YouTube. Let me see if I can find something, because I know I can play that, because I can play it from Gil's page, and they won't copyright strike me, I don't think. Because it's absolutely amazing what he does. Yeah, here's a little bit of it. Let me do this. Let's see. Let me do that. Let me play this right here.
You know, and I'll tell you what, this had to be topped as one of the best I've ever seen.
Did you think Gil Grant nailed it pretty good?
Are you kidding? That was one of the finest shows I've ever seen. What a singer this guy is.
Hello, darling.
This is from the record.
Nice to see you. It's been a long time. You're just as lovely as you used to be.
Listen to that.
It's the one
This is from the show.
who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give. Let the soul afraid of dying,
Listen to that.
that never learns to live. She said, I'm very money, and I'm used to wearing pearls, but I'm only
It is kind of funny for me to see Gil dressed like that because that's not how he dresses at all.
So tonight, those crystal candlelights will live a dream. Partner, there's a tiger in these tight-fitting jeans. You know I hate to think that song could hurt someone like you. And if I was him, I'd be right by your side. Lay your troubles on my shoulder, put your worries in my pocket. Rest your love on me a while. Lay your troubles on.
And that's people talking about the show after they've been to one of the shows. Just so awesome, and I'm so really proud for him. And like I said, I was honored to get to produce the record. And if you are a classic country music fan, then you owe it to yourself to go check it out. One Night with Conway. Yeah, that was awesome. Okay, anybody else have any questions whatsoever? All you got to do is pop it right there in the chat, and I can read your question. I can answer your question. If nobody has anything else, we've gone for about an hour tonight, and I am more than willing to let everybody go so that we can all go watch. We can all go watch Monday Night Football. It's a doubleheader tonight. The Jets and the Lions are playing right now. I don't even know the score. Does anybody have the score up? I should have it on this other TV over here, but I don't. I should have it, but I don't. But yeah, like I said, thinking about moving during football season, moving SF Live to Tuesday nights, and we're probably going to even expand it and do Tuesday and Thursday nights. So follow me on social media to make sure you stay up to date if I end up moving these things around. And you can do that. You can follow me at the Steve Freeman everywhere on social media, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. James says, love the hoodie. Man, I got to tell you, this thing is freaking awesome. It is so comfortable. I'm going to have Eric send me one of these in every single color that they come in because they are comfortable. If you would like to get one, all you have to do is go to www.officialboso.com and you can order one for yourself. And if you choose to do that, when you go to checkout, no matter what all you get, if you want to get a hat, see, I've got the hat on too. Wait a minute, just a second. Let me show you this cool hat. Look at this. Is that not awesome? I mean, it matches the sweatshirt like almost perfectly. But you can find hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, all that cool kind of stuff. Officialboso.com. When you get to the point of checkout, if you want to go check out anything, before you check out, enter the discount code TheSteveFreeman, and you're going to get 10% off of your order. So I definitely want to thank the guys over at Boso. Eric, you're going to be seeing a lot about this brand over the years to come. And I'm just proud to be associated with them. I love, I only endorse products that I use. I'm not like a lot of people where I'll just, if you pay me, I'll say it. I'm not like that. I don't need the money. When it comes to things like performance inspired with what Mark Wahlberg and Tom Dowd have done, I knew that I wanted on board with those guys, and I'm glad to be working with them. And I'm glad and very proud to be working with Eric and everybody at Born Southern, because I love the clothes. I wear them. I wear them every single day. And I know you will too. That's the other thing. One of the things, and I know this is a little thing, but like when he sends me black shirts, I've literally tried to wash them multiple times to see if I can get the black to fade, and I can't. It's just as black as the day it showed up. So it's little things like that, and they're comfortable, and I have to have my clothes comfortable. I cannot stand, being rigid or feeling like I'm constricted. I can't do it. They got to be comfortable. It's the same reason I won't burn any of my Nike shoes. They're too comfortable. I enjoy wearing them. Let's see. Are more vlogs coming in the future? Yes, more vlogs are coming in the future. I touched on this earlier. I have just been so busy traveling, and with all of the projects that I've taken on, I have been so busy that I've actually not had time to do one. And it's probably going to be that way throughout the rest of this month. I've got to go down to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, in 2 weeks, and then I'm going on vacation. I'm going to go down to Orange Beach and spend some time down there. So I probably come around the end of October, I will get back on a regular schedule with Tuesday and Thursday uploads. That's why I'm thinking it's so much easier for me to do this thing live. And that's why I'm thinking about doing Tuesdays and Thursdays live for right now. I'm getting all these Twitch notifications. Everybody's going live. Because that's another new thing I'm doing too, if you haven't noticed. I'm really getting big into gaming, and I've got a really big announcement coming about that in a couple of weeks. Stay tuned to my social media for that. But right now, with my schedule the way that it is, it's so much easier for me to do these live, to take an hour and a half out of my schedule and do these. So much more so than it is to a lot goes into doing the vlogs, man. I got to be honest with you. I don't know if a lot of people truly understand this. Don't get me wrong. I love doing them. I do. I love doing them. And I've actually missed, the last several weeks of not doing them. I've missed doing them. But a lot goes into them. When I do a 20 or 30-minute video, that usually probably takes 2 hours, 2.5 hours to film it, and then probably 2.5, 3 hours to edit it together, put all the elements in there, put the music in there, do all that, and then it takes, an hour to export it, and then it takes an hour to upload to YouTube. I mean, it's like an 8-hour process. When I was uploading on Tuesdays, it would take most of the day Monday to shoot the video, edit the video, and get it ready to upload by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock on Tuesday. It's a process. These guys that do daily vlogs, they have so much respect from me. It's not even funny, because it is a very time-consuming thing to do. And I'm going to do more of it. As some of these things, there's going to be a lot coming off of my plate. I'm getting a lot of it off of my plate. I've taken on too much, and I'm going to be taking some of it off, which will lead into having more time to actually do the vlogs and put the time necessary into them. My ultimate goal with what I want to be able to do is have vlogs on Tuesdays and Thursdays and go live on Monday and Wednesday. That's where I want to be. That's where I'm going to try to get. And then I can still have time, on Monday and Wednesday to film for Tuesday and Thursday, and then maybe have a little bit of me time over the weekend, because Johnny gets mad when he doesn't get his me time, and I need it. Everybody around me will agree that I need it as well. I'm just getting a text. Jacob, if you're watching, what's happening September 22nd in Nashville? I don't know. September 22nd. Is there something I should know about? I don't know. Jacob, if you're watching, text me what, I mean, am I supposed to know? See, this is one of those things when your calendar starts to look like my calendar looks, then I start to wonder that I've missed something and I haven't put it on the calendar the way that it's supposed to be. But I pull up my calendar and I look, and that's like little dots where things are. And it's like, let me see. I mean, I don't even know if you guys can, will it? I mean, it's like every single day, every day is filled up with something. And I'm not complaining about that. Look, I love being busy. I am a workaholic. I love working the amount that I work. I love it. And I love working with the people that I'm working with. So I'm not going to complain about it for a second. But Jacob, I have no idea what you're talking about on the 22nd of September. Am I supposed to? I mean, let me look on September 22nd. There's a dot there. Oh, I'm in Hattiesburg. Mississippi on the 22nd. Lord God, I don't know what he's talking about. I hope I haven't missed something. But in all likelihood, it's entirely possible that I have. But anyway, nevertheless, to wrap up the question, yeah, I am going to have more vlogs. As always, I reach out to you guys, would like to know what would you like me to do vlogs on, because not only does it take a lot of time to shoot and edit, because every time you shoot, there's all these, I've got all this equipment. It's lights and it's cameras and it's wireless lapel microphones and it's equipment and all that. You got to set all that up. But then also, I like to really do my research when I do vlogs and really get my thoughts together, and that takes time as well. So I'd like to make the vlogs as targeted as humanly possible, if that makes sense. So if there's a topic that you guys would like for me to do a vlog on, let me know. Shoot me an email, thestevefreeman@gmail.com. You can tweet me at thestevefreeman on Twitter, or send me a message on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. Shoot me the email. Leave it in a comment section on another video or right here. And I would be more than happy to do that. And I've gotten several, and I've created a Google Doc, and I've got all these questions laid out for things that I'm actually going to do videos on that people have requested. I had somebody leave a comment on a video the other day asking if I would do one talking about the live aspect for artists going out and playing on the road, good ways to get into venues, even down to what kind of equipment should they carry, and all kind of stuff like that. So that is a video that I'm putting together right now. And I've got a lot of other stuff planned as well, and I wish I could go into all of it, but I can't. But I'm looking forward to what we're going to be doing. I've got several special guests lined up that we're working on scheduling right now. Some of them I'm going to have where it's like a Google Hangout, like Jacob and I did. And then some I'm actually going to have in the studio. And I've actually got another room that is going to be kind of a live streaming room, where when I have 2 or 3 people over, it's going to have its multi-camera set up, the whole 9 yards, where we're going to start doing some really cool stuff here on the channel. And that's why I encourage you guys, if you're in the business, want to be in the business, songwriter, producer, independent artist, all that, we really want to make this channel a resource for you with solid, real-world, truthful information about your journey as an artist or a songwriter, or even getting into doing what I do for other people, and that is helping brands and helping artists brand themselves. But I also work with several companies with their branding to help. It's the same thing. Whether you're a company or an artist, you've got a message that you want out into the world. And I've been very successful with launching a lot of successful brands. And I want to talk about that as well, because one of the things that is consistent throughout all of my vlogs that I talk about, especially music business stuff, is that you guys as artists are not nearly as prepared for the business side of the music business as you should be. And business is business is business. It doesn't matter if you're selling toys or socks or underwear or toothbrushes or hamburgers or tacos or records. It doesn't matter. You need to have a firm hand on understanding the business world and how it works. We're gonna, and in this other streaming room that I want to start having on some people that I know that are very influential when it comes to success and entrepreneurialism, and launching successful businesses. I want to have those people on as well, because it all ties into music, guys. It all ties into music. And I'm getting ready to launch another company. And like I said, that announcement's coming in a couple weeks. It's something I'm really excited about. It has to do with gaming. Gaming is a huge industry right now. It's something I just really enjoy. I have said this before. You know, I make my living writing songs and producing records and developing artists and developing brands. And I love it. It is a true passion. I absolutely love it. But I have to have things that are just for me. Cars are that. You know, I collect cars because I get outside of music and entertainment business and I get out of all that. And gaming for me was always something that I enjoyed, going, you know, back several years, where songwriters like Jason Matthews and myself and James Otto, we would all get on and play Gears of War and Call of Duty and all this stuff years and years ago. And it's just something that has always kind of taken me out and been a release for me. And I've kind of found this new vigor for it over the last 3 or 4 months with Fortnite, and streaming and getting into that world. And I am going to be doing something that I'm really looking forward to. It's a really big passion of mine. And it involves a new company. And it's going to be in the esports realm. And like I said, more information on that to come. Lining a bunch of stuff up right now. And we just got the logo the other day, which was really cool. I had the same guys that designed Ninja's logo and Tim the Tapman's logo, 100 Thieves, all the major esports teams. I had the same people design this logo that designed theirs because I want it to fit in the space. And it's going to be it's something I'm really looking forward to. You know, music isn't always fun for me. Producing records isn't always fun for me. Writing music is not always fun for me. Because it's work. You know, just like if you bag groceries at Kroger, or you drive a truck for a living, or no matter what it is that you do, if you dig ditches, if you're an electrician, producing a record or writing a song is no different to me than you getting up and going and doing electrical work. It's still a job. And after all these years, it used to be a passion. Now it's a job. And it's a job that I happen to love, but it is by no means this, after this many years, it's this thing of, well, we don't, a lot of people accuse me all the time that I don't work for a living. I think anybody around me would beg to differ that I don't work for a living. Being in the entertainment business, being a songwriter, a professional songwriter and record producer, it is a lot of work. And there is no 9 to 5. There's no clock. It is 6 in the morning till 3 a.m. the next morning, most of the time. It is dealing with artists who have varying personalities and trust issues and everything else. So it is a job. It's a very demanding job. So when I find something that I enjoy, that can be a passion for me, but that also can be something, because I don't know how to just play the game. I want to own the game, and I want to own the merch company. And that's just the way I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm wired that way. I think of everything. My wife tells me all the time, you turn everything into a business. How do you ever enjoy anything? It's because I like to work. I love to work. And when you love to work, you always find the things that you're interested in and find a way to turn them into some sort of a business, because for me, I feel like I should be working all the time. And when I'm not working, I feel a little bit guilty about not working. So the gaming thing is a passion for me. I absolutely love getting on there, and I love playing. I love streaming. I have found that it's a very open community. People, for the most part, seem to be very welcoming. And it's an industry that is going to be absolutely blowing the doors off economically over the next several years, and growing even beyond that. So I definitely wanted into that pool, so I'm jumping in a major way. And I'll have more announcements on that in the coming weeks. But it's something I'm really excited about, and I think you guys will be excited about too. It's going to involve music. It's going to involve all kinds of different things, but it's going to be geared 100% towards streaming, gaming, esports, tournaments, merchandising, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. But more details on that to come. Follow me at the Steve Freeman on all social media, and I will be talking about it very, very soon. I see Jacob Young is in the chat. We need to say happy birthday to Jacob today. Not only did his EP come out today, but it is also his birthday today. So happy birthdays in the chat for Jacob Young. And like I said earlier, Jacob has his new show, Daytime After Dark, starting October 1st. We're getting him set up with his whole thing. He's getting his room set up. We're getting all the computers and gear and cameras. We're getting all that stuff set up, and we're going to get it all worked out. There's going to be a lot of FaceTiming between Jacob and me over the next 3 weeks getting this thing set up. But it's going to be awesome. Jacob's going to have special guests on from shows that he's been on, movies he's involved with. He just shot 3 movies, so you're going to be hearing all about that. But it's going to be an awesome show. You know, I think Jacob's a great personality. So not only is it going to be great because of him, but he is going to kind of pull the gloves off of the entertainment industry from an acting standpoint. What I'm trying to do from a music standpoint, Jacob's going to be doing from an acting standpoint. He's going to be telling you some hard truths. And kind of taking the mask off of Hollywood and taking you behind the scenes a little bit of what it really is like, you know, filming movies and filming successful TV shows and what goes on. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch and interact with. But it's called Daytime After Dark with Jacob Young. It will be on his channel, which you can find on YouTube. And it is, just to make sure, let me double check here because I want to make sure that we show the right one. There are several Jacob Youngs on YouTube, but I want to make sure that you get the right one. If you have not subscribed to Jacob's channel, you need to do that, and make sure that you click the bell notification so that you're notified every time that Jacob goes live with his show, because you're not going to want to miss it. It's really going to be awesome. Let me show you what his page looks like so that you actually do subscribe to the right channel. This is the actual Jacob Young official YouTube channel. This is what it looks like. The URL is youtube.com/Jacob Young TV. That is but if you land there and you get there and you're looking at this screen right here, this is Jacob's actual channel. You want to make sure you subscribe, and then right here, make sure you click this little bell notification icon so that you're notified when Jacob uploads new content and when he goes live. But his show's going to start October 1st. And it's going to be a great show. Going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have Jacob on in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to let him tell you all about what his show's going to be and what he's going to be doing, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But happy birthday to Jacob! I wanted to ask him how it feels to be 21 years old. I sure wish I knew, but maybe that's a good place to end this week's SF Live. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Like I said, stay tuned to social media. I may be moving this. As a matter of fact, I am going to be moving this to Tuesday nights during football season because I love football and I don't want to miss football either. So we're going to move SF Live to Tuesday nights, but I will be sending out social media notifications so that everybody knows. We are still trying to grow the channel. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and I cannot do that without you guys. Share the channel. Tell other people about it. We're a big community of musicians and songwriters and producers and independent artists and people that want into this business. Share the channel with them. Share a video with them and ask them to subscribe and help us reach that 1,000 subscriber goal by the end of the year. And then maybe they'll give me that damn community tab that I want so bad. Maybe they'll do it then. Guys, thank you so much. Don't forget, on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, it's at the Steve Freeman. Follow me there. And thank you guys so much for joining in. Thank you for the questions tonight. And we will be back next Tuesday night. Right? Next Tuesday night. Not next Monday, next Tuesday. But I'll post everything across social media so that you guys are well aware of what's going on and the schedule change as well. Guys, thank you so much. I will see you all next Tuesday. And until then, guys, keep being creative. Keep pushing the boundaries. And there's nothing wrong with being independent. Guys, see you later.